Tonight's broadcast of The Big Ticket is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, Service Electric Cable TV and Communications, and by Toyota.
Now, just a brief snippet of 30 years worth of big ticket history. Much, much more where that came from, but we wanted to start off the 30th anniversary season with a little something there to get you in the mood. I'm Dan. He is Jim. Thank you so much for joining us for 30 years of Big Ticket.
That was a fun little 1 minute, 30-year walk down memory lane. So many of the big players and coaches that has made the last few decades just so special and left indelible marks on football in this area. I guess we pumped up for this season.
Yeah, and we'll have a few other little goodies here coming up to celebrate 30 years. But hey, enough of the pleasantries. Let's get to the real reason why you are here. Let's get to it. Opening night of high school football. Let's get this show on the road.
69 Sports presents The Big Ticket, the biggest high school football show in the region.
Leading off with the Colonial Schuylkill League, Northern Lehigh and Catasauqua. Of course, the Bulldogs made one of the deepest runs of any team in our coverage area last year. Catasauqua was a district finalist themselves. We start with 4 minutes left in the first. Caddies Aiden Hess airing it out just short of the goal line where Ian Juka comes down with it into the end zone. It's a 39-yard pitch and catch, the first of a few between these two, and a 7-zip Rough Rider lead. Ensuing Northern Lehigh drive, Garrett Smoyer swarmed by defenders trying to dump it off, but it's right at Caddies. Jordan Bradshaw comes down with the INT. Very next play, it's Hess looking to go deep again. Dylan Pacheco takes the top off, hauls it in for the 33-yard score. It's 14-0. Rough Riders, how do you do?
How about this over a Northern Lehigh team that, again, was in the state quarterfinals a year ago.
Second quarter, Caddy keeps the offense rolling. Hess rolling right before firing to Juka. Comes back to the rock, makes a man miss. Diving for the goal line. It's a 16-yard score. Juka and the Roughies up 21-7. Under 6 minutes left in the half. That sounds like a band, by the way. Northern Lehigh Smoyer back to pass again. Emmanuel Bulmer jumps the route. How about that? Pick six, 28-7. The cheerleaders might have a busy night.
About this.
Third quarter, Northern Lehigh grinds out a 7-minute drive to start the second half. Garrett Smoyer on the keeper. They got the 2-point conversion. It's a one-score game. Bulldogs down just 28-22. You knew Joe Tout's team wasn't going to go laying down. Catasauqua answers in less than 2 minutes, though. Hess, the keeper of his own, 8 yards to Pater. They don't get the 2-point conversion, but the Roughies kind of reassert themselves. It's 34-22. Then it's who else? The combo that was cooking all night. Hess, Juka, 10 yards. Give him 6. 41-22. Caddy, and your final, an impressive Week 1 victory for the Catasauqua Rough Riders at home over the Northern Lehigh Bulldogs, 48-22.
You know, Northern lost a lot of kids from that state quarterfinal team, but still, this is such an impressive win. Remember last year, Catasauqua got off to that 0-3 start, but they started to really find their groove down the stretch. They got in the district playoffs and were within a Hail Mary of winning the district championship at the AA level, where a lot of these kids are back. They clearly have some big playmakers. Hess throws for 5 touchdowns. 4 go to Juka, who also added an interception on defense. And the Catasauqua Rough Riders look like they may be a force to be reckoned with this year.
Definitely makes it easier, but all that hard offense comes with hard work, you know, like that's not given to us, so we have to earn all that.
It's been a work in progress. I mean, we've been working all year on this, all season, every day we're out here working. A lot of stuff in the weight room, so it's just something that we got to take in and just keep moving forward and keep our heads up.
And interesting next tests for both teams. Northern Lehigh gets Northwestern on the Thursday night spotlight, and then Catasauqua gets the Palmerton Blue Bombers up next. All right, staying in league now, talking Bangor and Palisades, a couple of District 11 playoff teams from a season ago.
Yeah, both coming off pretty good years. Bangor won this one last year, but this year, some personnel shuffling. They were taking a wide receiver, going to try to make him the quarterback. So far, so good, judging on how he played tonight.
Jake Gillespie made the trip and has the story.
It's good to be back, guys. Bangor starts this season on the road, looking to build off a really solid campaign last time around. They topped who would eventually become 3A champions in Northwestern before losing in the first round of playoffs. They come to Kintnersville to face a Palisades squad looking to build off a postseason run of their own. Palisades only lost thanks to a very last-second winning field goal by Catasauqua last year. But the postseason's a long way away, and you can bet both of these teams tonight just want to get started in the win column. Bangor begins trying to move the ball through the air, but the Pirates pick it off. Greg Borgeson with the first INT of the year. Now, he's also the Pirates quarterback, so he looks to cash in on the early turnover, but sometimes week one jitters can get to you. First snap goes over his head. That results in a big loss. Very next play, another snap goes over Borgeson's head. He makes a smart play, just kicks this one out, sacrificing the safety to save a possible defensive touchdown. So the Slaters take a rare 2-0 lead. The safety means the ball goes back to Bangor, and they add on to that 2-point lead. Greg Campbell hits Riley Stapp for a 27-yard touchdown. That's the Slaters' first of the year. That stretches their lead to 9. Approaching the end of the first quarter now, Palisades trying again with the passing game, but Bangor puts a stop to it. Snap is good this time, but Jackson Kreider jumps in front of the throw to get the ball back to Bangor. Ensuing drive, Pirates force a Slaters fourth down. They roll the dice, decide to go for it, and they do a lot better than the first down. That's a 12-yard TD pass once again from Campbell to Stapp, who comes right into your living room. That gives Bangor a 16-0 lead with 9 minutes left in the first half. Fast forward, less than a minute left in Q2. Slaters working the ball through the air again. Ball's on the 6-yard line, and Campbell finds Max Sue for 6 points. 2-point try is no good. It's 22-zip. Palisades' last possession before the break, they decide to take a risk. Just 10 seconds left before halftime. It's fourth down, and the Pirates go for it. Conversion attempt unsuccessful, and the Slaters get the ball deep in enemy territory, and they make it count. 29 yards out, Campbell drops a dime to Stapp over the top to stretch the lead to 29-0, heading to halftime. Second half starts with the Slaters switching things up. They start pounding the rock. Noah Hillis rips off a 17-yard carry to pick up the first down. Eventually, they'd work it all the way down inside the 1, and it's Ellis again strolling across the goal line and sending the Slaters up 36-0. Pirates would pick up 8 before the final whistle, but it wasn't enough to spoil the Slaters' party. Bangor takes week 1 with a final score 36-8. Here's quarterback Greg Campbell on his early season chemistry with wideout Riley Stapp.
It's just been natural for us. We've been throwing. He's always open. It helps when you have multiple receivers, not just him. You can't focus on one, and it makes it easy to read the defense.
From Kintnersville, I'm Jake Gillespie for the Big Ticket.
All right, Jake, thank you very much. That's a pretty impressive win as well for the Slaters on the road against a real solid Palisades team, and you come out of there with a convincing win to go to 1-0 on the season.
Yeah, and if you're Bangor, you're thinking, okay, we're going to move Greg Campbell from wide receiver to quarterback. How will it go? Well, 4 touchdown passes, 3 of them to Riley Stapp. That's a pretty good start.
I'd say it's well done.
That will work. Yep. Okay, Saucon Valley and Notre Dame. This is a matchup we've had week 1 for a few years now, and often ends up being pretty good and often gives us plenty of highlights. No different this year as we go to Notre Dame Field. And we start just a couple of minutes into this one. Good start for Saucon Valley. Peter Albano to Jack Robertson, hauls it in over the shoulder. So the Panthers strike first. It's a 7-0 game. A few minutes later, Danny Darno Takes the snap, gives it to Jason Blacknall Farmer, who finds Payton on the near side for a 10-yard touchdown. So they trade barbs early at 7-7. After a safety and a field goal put Notre Dame up 12-7, it's Landon Bukowski breaking free. 25 yards later, Saucon has the lead again, 14-12, and it would stay 14-12 at the half. Then a big interception by Josiah Hernandez would set up this. Albano drops back, airs it up to Robertson. Ooh, catch there. Two-point conversion is no good, though, so it's still a one-score game. It's 20-12. But after that, Notre Dame just flipped a switch. Danny Darnold, play action, keeps it himself, down the far sideline. Arm tackles aren't going to work on this kid. Darnold goes 35 yards for the score. They get the two-point conversion, so they're all tied up at 20-20. A few minutes later, Josh Ludlow fields the punt, and watch this. He's going to get a block. He's going to go to the left side. He's going to shed another arm tackle. He's going to cut it back to the outside, and there he goes. A touchdown return for Josh Ludlow. 27-20. Crusaders are now up, and they would hit the gas from there. Just a few seconds left in the third. Darno again drops back, fakes the pass. Move after move adds to his big game. That made it 34-20. Darno would add another on the ground, then a 68-yarder through the air to A.J. Lozano. And Notre Dame, like I said, they were down 20-12 in the second half, and then boom, like it's nothing, they outscore Saucon Valley 36-0 over the last quarter and a half to get the Week 1 win.
Do you think Saucon Valley is going to be an improved team this year? I think they'll win more than the 3 games that they won last season. Always seems like, though, Notre Dame skill position, especially, they've just got guys who can make plays. And Darno, Ludlow, and company, all those guys.
Lozano, they are going to be a very, very dangerous team. They lost 3 games last year by a combined 8 points.
Yeah.
Big things in store for the Crusaders this year.
All right, let's go non-league, but staying with a Colonial Schuylkill League team, Southern Lehigh and Quakertown. This has been an interesting early season matchup over the last few years. Second possession of the game, still scoreless. Southern Lehigh's Christopher Fritz, wide receiver screen to Jack Ingalls. Mr. Sports Center himself gets some good blocks and is off to the races, but wait. Oh, man. There's some laundry. So the touchdown comes off the board. Later in the drive, 2nd and goal, Fritz rolls out, looking for someone in the end zone, picked off. Adam Straley for the Panthers. Huge play on defense. So the game remains scoreless. Later in the first quarter, after a Quakertown punt, Southern Lehigh with the ball. Fritz airing it out. Andrew Olish spreads some peace to Quakertown with a little peace sign. 42-yard touchdown. 7-0 Spartans after 1. Great crowds all over the area tonight.
You're right.
Quakertown would respond. Next possession took up over 7 minutes. Vincent Masucci. That ties things up at 7, and Quakertown had a 14-7 lead going into halftime. Southern responds after half, got the kickoff, and it's Fritz finding Olish again. Young man having himself a night. 46-yard touchdown, game's all even at 14, both TDs so far to Olish, both over 40 yards. Later in the third, after a Quakertown punt, Kate Sawyer gets the handoff. Bouncing off a few defenders, he turns on the Jets. Spartans lead it 21-14. Next possession, it's Sawyer stepping up with another big play, but this time on D.
Hip drill.
Intercepts the pass and takes it the distance. Go the distance. Wrong sport, great movie either way.
It still works.
42-yard pick 6 for Sawyer. Southern Lehigh now leads 28-14. Quakertown got a late touchdown, but they would get no closer as Southern Lehigh downs Quakertown at 28-21 in the meeting of the District 11 and District 1 foes. Really a solid win for Southern Lehigh against a 6A District 1 school.
Right, and a 6A District 1 school that was in the playoffs last year in the Quakertown Panthers. So Southern Lehigh hit the gas for 21 points in that third quarter after they were down at the half. That's a real good character win for Phil Sampson.
And look at next week, we got Southern Lehigh and Notre Dame.
How about that?
Docket next.
Yes, sir. All right, elsewhere in the Colonial League, Northwestern, a big season last year and a big win here in Week 1 on the road, 49-6. They take care of Tamaqua.
North Schuylkill picks up a real impressive win over Mount Carmel, 34-27. They get Blue Mountain next.
The Palmerton Blue Bombers with Lehigh recruit Matt Mahalik as the trigger man. They're going to put up some points this year.
They certainly will.
54-30. They're 1-0.
And they get Catasauqua up next. Jim Thorpe, Blue Mountain goes the way of the Eagles in a shutout, 35-0.
Tough Week 1 draw for Pottsville. Jersey Shore is always great. They were a state playoff team again last year, and they take care of the Tide tonight.
Panther Valley downs Salisbury 20-12 for the final in that one.
What a game at Tri-Valley. The Batlin Miners.
Yeah, certainly.
38-34. They moved to 1-0 with a good road win.
Marian Catholic gets a clean sheet at home over Schuylkill Haven, 27-0.
Mahanoy area at home loses by 3 to the Harriton Fighting Rams.
Shenandoah Valley, after one win last year, they've already equaled that as they beat Columbia Montour 51-26.
And the defending District 11 AA champion Executive Raptors get a win at Lafayette tonight, playing there 42-19 over Salem from New Jersey.
The Raptors get Berks Catholic next. Should be a good test for them. Little Saturday action. As we've seen over the last few years, these two usually tussling on a Saturday. You got Wilson and Penn Argyl. That was fun.
That was.
That was just the first block of the first show of the entire season. Plenty more where that came from.
Coming up on The Big Ticket, the defending District 11 6A champions opened their season at home. And Freedom made the trip to Stroudsburg for a north-south clash. EPC highlights and scores are next.